What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. So I told y'all I was talking about these 76ers, man. They looking for trades. They said they looking for perimeter shooters, perimeter shooting threats with playmaking ability. In other regards, they've been looking for people to replace and to ship and go and trades, all kind of stuff. I'm excited for this because I've been saying this for so long and I get to say it one more time and people get to hear me this time. Ben Simmons need to go. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you that if you like Philly, I like that team. I like them. I mean, I'm not a huge fan or anything, but I like Philly. I like Joel Embiid. But if you give me the option to choose between Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, I'm choosing Joel Embiid 20 times out of 20, 100 times out of 100. Easily. So let me tell you the problem with this. Let me tell you the problem of why I say Ben Simmons needs to go. Not that he isn't a great player, not that he doesn't have a good IQ, not that he can't help you on the boards, any of that. Those are good things that he can do. But Ben Simmons hurts the 76ers because he can't do anything else as a point guard. As a point guard, he can't do anything else. If he's not on a fast break, he's not valuable to that offense. And he clogs the offense, which is not good for the 76ers when you have somebody in the paint who's an animal like Joel Embiid. He can be good somewhere else. Ben Simmons, he can be good somewhere else. He can take over and I don't know, he can go to a different city and do his thing and hopefully continue to develop, get a jump shot on him. That's also another reason. Now, I've said in the past that you can't count players like Ben Simmons and Giannis Antetokounmpo out because they can't shoot. But damn it, it's been way too many years. I've seen so many years where other players are developing more and more. Giannis Antetokounmpo is shooting threes now. He can't be stopped on the inside, and now he's shooting threes now. So you have to guard him from the perimeter. Ben Simmons, we still gonna let you shoot all you want to, buddy. You made one three-pointer. Out of the whole time you've been playing in the NBA, you've only gave me one three-pointer. How the hell is that supposed to help me on the perimeter? And how am I supposed to run an offensive scheme when I got two players who just sit in the paint? Joel Embiid, he's excused because he's a center. But Ben Simmons, you being a point forward, you got to be able to do something, man. And then this is what really bothers me. You're a point guard who's 7 foot, but you don't take care. You don't take advantage of the mismatch that you have when you do have it. Like, as a point guard, if you're 7 foot and you going against somebody who's 6'2", 6 whatever, if he's 6 something, under 6'7", that should be a bucket every time. A bucket every single time. And I get that Ben Simmons can draw defenses in and he can draw a lot of attention. But I would much rather get a point guard who's average size, who can still draw a lot of attention and can still be a threat on the perimeter. So for the 76ers, this is brilliant. This is amazing. It's about time they came to this realization that they're not going to win a damn thing if they don't get it together. They need more shot creators. Ben Simmons can't create no shot. Come on, man. Anything that says a shot around Ben Simmons, he can have it. If it's not a layup, if it's not inside the arc, or if it's not inside the little free throw line, Ben Simmons can have it. He can have it. Take it. Whatever. But in order for Philly to become the team that people want them to become, in order for Philly to be able to beat Milwaukee in the playoffs. I know they lost to Kawhi last year. Some people say it was fluke, whatever. That's a different story. But I think Milwaukee is going all the way because nobody's going to test them. People say Philly is that team, but no. Until Philly gets a guard that can actually score the ball and create his own shot and still draw attention, then they can play high-low with him and Joel Embiid. Because Joel Embiid is a monster, and Joel Embiid can still play perimeter. But it's not going to work if Ben Simmons is out there. If Ben Simmons is or he can't play perimeter. So if Ben Simmons is in the paint, clogging it up with Joel Embiid, then now it's limited room on what he can do. It's not like Philly already has a team stacked of shooters. No, that's not the case. And I seen something where they was talking about, it was actually the Golden State Warriors. They were talking about D'Angelo Russell for Ben Simmons. Is that a good trade? If you ask me, if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, hell yeah, that's a great trade. I would love it. Oh, my gosh. D'Lo playing with Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris. Oh, Al Horford, that's a bucket. I'll take that right there. I bet that. I love that if I was a 76ers front office worker. I would love that. But as far as the Warriors, hell no. Don't do it. You don't need to do that. Ben Simmons isn't going to bring that franchise from whatever seed they're at right now to top 8. Hell no, that's not going to happen. They already got Steph and Clay. When they come back, Draymond is going to be good. And then if you can somehow continue to keep D'Lo there, that's a good team, if you ask me. But bringing Ben Simmons in, hell no. That would change the entire Warriors game plan. It would change everything because he cannot shoot. At some point, the game of basketball today is starting to evolve more and more around shooting the ball. If you're in the NBA and you're under 7 feet and you can't shoot the ball at all, your chances are looking very slim of touching the floor. If you can't do it, especially if you don't play hard. Especially if you don't play hard. If you don't play hard, you might as well go to the G League or something, or go play overseas, because you won't ever touch the floor. You won't ever see a big contract. And I don't care how many media reporters or whatever. I don't care how much hype anybody has. If you can't shoot the ball, at some point, either your career is going to be not as long because it takes a lot of toll on your body, or you're not going to see the floor at all. And that's what I think about this whole Ben Simmons thing. I'm just glad they're finally at the point where they're realizing that, okay, we got to make something happen. What they would do to mess this up is trade Joel Embiid. That's the last thing they should do. And I don't know why the hell Ben Simmons got a max deal anyway, but you know what? He can help in other ways. He can rebound. Maybe he just needs to solely focus on that power forward position, because he can rebound, but he doesn't really have too many post moves. It's not like he's going to get in the post and then kill another power forward with some post moves. That's not going to happen. He has a good IQ, and he can rebound a little bit when he plays hard. He's not very aggressive. So those are my takeaways from it. Yeah, he's 7 feet, but he can only help you so much. When I say Giannis wasn't able to shoot, like going back to Giannis, when Giannis wasn't able to shoot, he plays hard. He plays his heart out every time he stepped on the floor. He's always aggressive. He's developed his post moves. And now we even see him developing a three-point shot, which is why he's damn near unstoppable. And my thing is, if you're not developing, you got to go, basically. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, man. I'm ready to get it started. I want to talk about this load management thing. This really tripped me out. So I seen it the other day, and I heard people was upset about this load management thing. NBA executives been crying and pouting about it, talking about it's getting absurd. Excuse me. So anyway, I've noticed that the main players resting this season, or the main player resting this season, is Kawhi Leonard. Here's why I don't have a problem with this resting thing. As long as the injury, or as long as it's because of an injury or some kind of healing of the body, it's okay. But if somebody's just resting because they're perfectly happy and they just don't feel like playing a trash team in the night, then that's a problem. But if that's not the case, then why cry about it? And this is why I really believe that certain executives are upset about this, because they have players on their team. If you're a bad team in the NBA, most of your players is playing every night because you don't have no playoff hopes. You don't have whatever. If you're a bad player playing, or if you're a good player playing for a terrible team, you're just trying to make sure you're doing your thing, make sure you're living up to your money, hopefully looking forward to getting a bigger contract, whatever it may be later on in the season. But these good teams, these Los Angeles Lakers teams, these Los Angeles Clippers teams, Houston Rockets, Milwaukee Bucks, with stars on them, with huge stars on them, if one of those stars get hurt, what do you think those teams are going to be able to do in the playoffs? If Kawhi Leonard goes down, knock on wood, what do you think the Clippers, how far do you really think they're going to go in the playoffs if Kawhi Leonard goes down in early or late in the season of the NBA and he can't play in the playoffs? Yeah, Paul George is there and they got a good little surrounding. The team is good, but they're not going to win a championship like they was hoping for. If AD goes down or LeBron goes down, knock on wood once again, the Lakers aren't doing a damn thing. Harden, I know all of these players have been playing. The only one resting has really been Kawhi. But why cry about it just because you don't have that say? You don't have that leverage to be like, you know what, I need you to rest tonight because we going to need you later on in the season. Then that's a different story, because that's smart on other executives with star players. That's smart for them. I tell my player 10 times out of 10, if you're not feeling healthy, look, you need to rest it. You need to chill out, go ahead, take a seat, whatever. Get okay, because we're going to need you in the long run. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. And I understand. I completely understand that it can suck for a fan, or if you're in Chicago and you know the Lakers only come to Chicago twice throughout the whole season, and you want to see, LeBron and AD, but the time they go there, they're resting. I understand that that's very annoying. So to fix that problem, send an early notice on something. Like, let them know earlier or whatever it may be, as long as it's not that same night, to give some fans some hope, whatever it may be. As long as it's not the same night, then I don't really have a problem with it. But it does become absurd if players are doing it 20 minutes before the game, like, I think I'm going to just rest out tonight because we playing some nobodies. Then that's a different story. But on the other hand of it, it's a brilliant idea. It's longevity. These NBA players have so many miles on their bodies. And I get it. Because some people say, well, Jordan ain't never rested. MJ ain't never had to rest. Scottie Pippen ain't never had to rest. And I get that. That's cool. But you got to think about how many games of basketball people are playing. The game of basketball is going to continue to evolve. That's why I always say that during the GOAT conversation, but the game of basketball is going to continue to evolve. People in the 1980s weren't playing basketball year round. You could be an average dude who played hard, hustled, and you could still probably get to the NBA, especially if you was tall and you played hard. But you didn't have to play basketball all year round to get noticed. Now these kids, even if you're an average Joe, if you're an average dude, you still playing basketball all year round because you may think it's fun. AAU tournaments, these long seasons, high school seasons, all these other tournaments. It's so many miles on people's bodies. And I was talking with a colleague of mine, and we brought up how, we brought up Zion Williamson, how he's been injured and things like that. The Pelicans have been trying to teach him how to walk again, how to do all these other things. But one thing that he said, it was very interesting, and I loved it, because he was like, Zion has been facing injuries his entire career. He never played a full season of basketball when he was in high school, when he was in college, and now in the NBA. He's never played a full season of basketball. And those injuries continue to carry on as a player gets to the NBA. He's still going to have broken bones or whatever it may be. So as an executive, you got to take that decision and be like, well, do I want this guy who's facing these injury problems or not? Or if he gets hurt, would I be okay with him taking a break, healing all the way or not? Because if it's me, if you don't like that a guy, I highly doubt any of the executives who have superstars resting are really upset. If they are, it's most likely because of a money thing. But other than that, if you're really that upset about it, don't pay them all that damn money then. Let them go somewhere else and play. If you're an executive and you're really upset that a player is taking care of his body that's made him so much money, if you're really upset about that as an executive, don't pay him. Send him somewhere else. Put him on a new team. Other than that, you're crazy if you think it's not a smart idea to rest your star player so he can be healthy come playoff time. And I know anything can happen, but it's the smart move to make, especially if he's coming off an injury or recovering from an injury that he's been trying to recover from over the years.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with IamMannyWilson. So I got this topic about the Cowboys. Jason Garrett is finally fired. It's about time, ain't it? Like, I'm not a Cowboys fan or nothing, but I mean, this is just good for football, like watching entertainment, and because he's been stinking it up with the Cowboys forever. This is the only Cowboys mistake about firing Jason Garrett, is that they waited way too long to do this. I actually dislike the Cowboys a lot, actually, if I'm being honest. But I'm a fan of watching good sports. I like watching good football. I like watching good basketball. I like watching good baseball, whatever it may be. Any sport, if it's good, if people are playing at a good high level, I like watching it. But the Cowboys were not doing that. And you can't even be mad about this, even if you are a Cowboys fan. I'm sure most of y'all are probably jumping up in joy right now. But if you are upset about it, you have absolutely no reason to be, man. Because think about it. The Cowboys personnel is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. You got Dak Prescott. He's a pretty good quarterback. Ezekiel Elliott, great running back. Defensive line on the Cowboys, fairly well. Linebackers, fairly well. Defensive backs, the personnel in Dallas is pretty good. So you can't be mad. But it was just the dude in the driver's seat was not doing anything.
That was the main problem with the Cowboys, is that the dude in the driver's seat was sleeping. And somebody needed to wake him up, but nobody wanted to. So I'm happy for the Cowboys. Actually, will I ever cheer for the Cowboys? Hell no. Will I ever say the Cowboys are going to the championship? Hell, or to the Super Bowl? Hell no. I won't ever say that. You will probably never hear those words come out of my mouth because I just really don't believe it, and I still hope it doesn't happen. But I will say the Cowboys hiring Mike McCarthy was a great move. It was a great move for the people hating on Mike McCarthy. And the people, some people, because I hear multiple times, some people think, oh, well, he got saved by Aaron Rodgers. He got saved by Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be upset when he gets to Dallas and realize Dak Prescott isn't that good. And I'm like, you can't really go that route because you look at all these other quarterbacks. You look at Tom Brady. Somebody has to play in some kind of system. Somebody has to play in some kind of system. You got to give credit where it's due. And it all starts up top. If the owner is doing his job, then the GM is going to do his job, and the GM is going to do his job. The coach is going to do his job. The coach is going to do his job. The player is going to do their jobs, which ultimately leads to everybody on the field. But Tom Brady, you can't, and that's like that argument with Tom Brady and Belichick. You can't say that, oh, everything Tom Brady does is because of Belichick, because Belichick isn't the one out there on the field calling audibles and switching plays. And that was the same thing with Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, but he still deserves some credit to a certain extent because he's doing his job well. Now, when he gets to Dallas, I hope he does his job well, actually. I really do. Good enough for them to win a Super Bowl? No, I don't want him to be that good with the Cowboys. If he goes somewhere else, of course. I wish the best for that man, but at the end of the day, it's a great move for the Cowboys. I'm happy for them, but at the same time, it's kind of bittersweet because now they might actually be good and actually start winning games and things like that. So I'm iffy about it, but I like it. I like watching good football, and now I know if I turn on the Dallas Cowboys game, it can be a good football game. And now, too, for the actual fans of the Dallas Cowboys, you might actually see them reach their full potential with the personnel that they have because they have great players, they have a great team, and now they just got a new coach. So anything can happen, as my guy Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible. So we're going to move on to the music selection. Our next selection right now is T.I. Raw. It was off that T.I. versus T.I.P. album, man. Here it is.